Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. How we doing, y'all? We shouldn't be lagging. Let me know if we're lagging. All right, let's see. Bet. All right, futures just opened up. Subtle gap down here on, not really a gap, but we got some volume at the open. So NQ's down a bit. We're trying to do an outside stream. Let me know if the noise is good. You know, we might have to work on a couple things, but I feel like being outside. All right, so we're just going to look for another $200 day, just like always, and then lockout. No, I legit just felt like being outside today. I have like a little mobile, I know how to set it up, like I can stream mobily like off this laptop now. I got the camera hooked up, the mic hooked up. Like we could legit be anywhere. Tough price action today, I'm not gonna lie, tough price action. Tough price action both ways. Yeah, so gold's on the move up, and NQ is inverse. So gold actually looks pretty decent down there. Back at VWAP. Yeah, it opened at 300. That's like a 25-point bounce. That's a nice, strong move out of the open. Let's let it build some structure. I might play continuation longs on gold. I like the range that we had today. We're kind of back at the highs of the range that we had today. In fact, yeah, that's kind of a breakout above the highs. So, yeah, gold looks good for maybe some continuation. We have supply zone up at 50s that we can reach into. See what the pullback looks like and see if maybe we can play some continuation off of that. We might be done before the Asia session, to be honest with you. NQ's taking out the New York session lows here. About 15 points off those lows. About 115 points lower than the open. So it's a big sell-off too. But we do have a demand zone that we're pulling into. And I don't really expect, whenever you see like initial moves like that out of that 5 p.m. open, price usually does, it can give you an initial move, but will typically settle until the next session. So like for this example, we're in between sessions. So whenever the Asia session opens up, maybe at that point you can look for maybe continuation through the demand zone. But for the time being, I'll probably honestly look for it to catch a bid down here in the 700s, and look to play some of that retracement back into this range. But I do expect this range probably to hold at least until Asia opens. So for me, this is kind of where I'd be looking for longs typically on NQ. Now, this did come down with a lot of weight, and it does have momentum. This is, a series of 2 down close candles for about 120 points on the 5 minute. So I'm not going to step in the way of the momentum, but if I see some selling exhaustion down here sub 740s, I will probably hit the bid and just look to play the retracement above the demand zone. And where's that gap that we had? We had a gap last night. So yeah, we're probably like, we could see this. I really do feel like it would be a lot later in the session. We're 130 more points off. This would probably need to kind of form, could even form like a right shoulder here. Just build some more structure out to the right, then maybe fade off and fill the gap. But I don't think it's going to happen in the next few hours, to be honest with you. Maybe if we get some volume at the Asia Open, but I don't really see it happening. So for me, I'm probably going to look to take a bid here, as long as this is within the demand zone. I'm cool to try it long. VWAP's currently at 775, so we're 15 points lower than VWAP. Beautiful gold long. Yeah, gold looks good. I mean, if you caught it, if you were able to catch it, sure does. No lag bet. Current low on this 5 minute candle is 47. We're about 10 points off that low. I would not mind seeing us kind of sell through this order block and then look for a fresh buy under it. That's where I would kind of look to take it. If we can take these lows out, look for selling exhaustion. It's within zones, right? So you take this first low, but you're still within the demand zone that we had last night, and you're still above the gap. I think the gap may get filled. I don't think it's going to happen super soon though. So I would not mind seeing it manipulate under 30s, then catch a bid, pull back into this range, and just kind of play the retracement, to be honest. Because we're still above the demand zone of yesterday's session, and we're still above it by 150 points. And we already had a 150 point sell-off, out of the open. So talking about 300 point range, I would expect at least a little bit of structure to build above yesterday's demand zone before, or if we get a sell through it. So, and that's just like a time concept. It's just time theory, right? You can be right about a trade. Like, ultimately, this does kind of look like it wants to at least pull back into that gap a little bit. But it's like, in the context of the situation, you probably don't see that happening until Asia Open. Even if it does happen in Asia Open, it's probably going to be a little bit later in that session. So for the time being, I'm going to look for it to hold demand zone until the next session opens up, and I'll take bids off of it. So that's the thinking. The high on this candle is about 70, so like a 25, 30 point range on this 5 minute candle. Not bad. VWAP's at 75. You got 20 points on gold. Well, how'd you catch that, though? Kind of just ripped out of the open. This 5 minute candle's about to close. If this 5 minute candle closes with an exhaustion wick like that, yeah, I'll let that next candle open up, let it play out. I still would like to see it under 30s, and so I think I want to be a little bit patient and wait for that, and then I'll look to take the longs. As long as we hold yesterday's demand zone, which I think we will, still another 150 points off of that low, so I would expect this to at least to build some structure. At least to build some structure and play the retracement back up into the range. risk against, in a setup like that, you're risking against 31, so it's about 10 points, kind of tight. So I prefer to just sell through 31 and then take the buy, but we'll see. I'm gonna jump onto the 1 minute. Trying to reclaim 50s here. There's 50s. Alright, I joined that rally. I'll have the stop down below the previous low at 31. And I'll look to take this off. 60s. If we can get a VWAP test, that would be great. 70s possibly. Like I said, I'm still looking for longs as long as we hold. We're in the demand zone right now, so this is typically where I would look to take longs. At least for like quick retracement scalps, so like a test of VWAP. Now this is still very heavy, right? With lower highs pushing into the demand zone, so I probably wouldn't hold to see a break through VWAP, but I would like to see a test of VWAP. We haven't had one in the session. There's 60s. 60s flat. 62. This can go push VWAP. It's 10 points off. Watching how it reacts above 60s, right? I want to see a strong push through 60s. I don't want to see it lose steam here. I don't want to see it lose momentum above 60. 62 is your new high. This is kind of where you want to see break into the 70s with some strength. For me, I'm just losing a little bit of strength. Still holding 60s. Start to trim off as we're above 63. Surely that gets filled. Move the stop to the new low. Just kind of like a quick scalp here. This is just meant to be kind of a quick test of VWAP. Sentiment still on the higher time frame, on the hourly, would still be bearish. So anybody who is looking bearish on NQ, this could retrace and take me out of the trade too. But sentiment is still bearish on the hourly, but I'm just looking to play the retracements out of the demand zone, right? So VWAP test, although now we're at VWAP, and that's kind of a nice reaction through. So maybe this turns into what could have been a quick scalp off of, you know, a lower time frame demand zone. Maybe this turns into a rally back into, you know, the 780s, 800s. Although there's your exhaustion wick. Gonna go break even on the stop. But yeah, man, that's kind of the beauty of trade. Like, what could have been, and obviously if this picks up enough strength and it still looks good, now a nice clean breakthrough VWAP is like a very valid indication that this can continue moving higher off the demand zone. So that looks good to me as well. But yeah, that's the incredible part of like getting into a trade. It doesn't always have to, it doesn't have to be like some grand idea. You look for 10, 20, 30 points, and if the market continues in your direction, right, you can use some of the indicators like the VWAP, for example. Nice strong breakthrough VWAP looks good. Now I'm on the 1 minute, so I'm trying not to psych myself. I don't really love trading the 1 minute. We do have a supply zone on the 1 minute at 785. But yeah, you see a lot of wicks. You see a lot of wicks on the 1 minute, so sometimes it can get tricky. I mean, it's could still fade under VWAP, but for now we're above VWAP. Looks good. I've trimmed some of the position off in the 70s, so chilling with that. Stops at break even. I think I'm gonna hold. That was a decent little push through VWAP. I would like to see this curl back through the 80s. I think we'll just hold the rest, but I trimmed 2 off in like the 70s, mid 70s. We'll see what happens. It's off demand zone, so it's as valid as long as going to be, down here. Dangerous trade. I don't know about that. Maybe for you. Every trade's dangerous, though, isn't it? Every trade's dangerous. Okay, so we have a tight trading window at VWAP here. So we had a down close candle under VWAP. This is a fresh 1 minute candle. I'm watching to see this hopefully not wick off VWAP, because if that wicks off VWAP, it's not going to look good. See if we can get another attempt at VWAP. We're still above this internal high, so it's not the worst looking long here, but needs to get back through VWAP. You after 200? I am. I'm after 200. We're up like 50 right now. If this pushes back into the we have a small order block supply zone there. If we push back into the 80s, we'll be pretty much done for the day. The hiccup now is just if we can get there without pulling me out of the trade, without getting stopped out of it. That's the only issue right now. See how we react to VWAP. VWAP's at 70s. If we can even get there. We can't get a buying move back above VWAP for now. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 more off. 10-15 point trade. I mean, we still have another micro. I'll hang out in it with a break even stop. It's not gonna be that big of a deal, but yeah, we can't get a buyback above VWAP for me. That's kind of a red flag, so I'll hop out of it. We'll check it on gold. We'll leave this micro on. It's not really going to hurt. I mean, if this runs 40, 50 points, that's all we really need from it, but we're only 10 points off the entry, so for this not to get back above VWAP's a little sketchy for me, but I'll leave a micro on. We locked in about 80 so far on the trade. Nice strong bull flag on gold as well. Nice strong bull flag on gold, and it's right off VWAP. Oh wow, here we go. Now we run through the supply. Okay, cool. Took you a little bit. Now we run through the supply. Okay. Equal highs on the 1 minute. So I would typically hold through equal high break of 80s here for me, especially on this candle. This is one of the bigger 1 minute green candles we've seen, so there is some volume here. Got about 10 seconds till this 1 minute candle closes. I want to see it break through 80s into the supply zone. Nice flat close at 80s. I would expect this candle to print green at least a little bit and bleed into the low 80s. Look for a possible flip green into like 84 here. That can't retrace too much or I'll kick out. I'm just going to kick out of it. Too much retracement on the 80 break. All right, so we're up 125 so far. Gold's flagging for a possible break here. Off VWAP too. It's a nice strong bull flag on gold. We're about 20 points higher than the open. Nice buyers off VWAP. ATR is curling as well. Yeah, this is kind of where I'd look to maybe sneak into one and have the stop under VWAP. Maybe like a 5-point stop. It's a bit of a high entry though. I want to see if I can get a decent pullback, then I'll just look to take a long off VWAP. Like off of VWAP stop. Sub 20 stop. Might not be able to get into it though. Nice and strong on the 5 minute. Pretty much broke all of the supply levels that we put in today as well. So it's up into a new range. It can pull all the way up to the 50s here if it wanted to. So definitely looks good. Definitely looks good. Yo, Kev, what's good? I'll start bidding in like a little starter position. I'll put the stop at like VWAP. Oh, wow. NQ, look at the way NQ comes down and touches VWAP all the way back up. Wow, okay. There goes NQ as well. Gold and NQ on the move up. Gonna have a higher low on the 1 minute. Take these orders off real quick. was only taking those off because I mean NQ's breaking above the was breaking above the 80s, so it did have potential to push gold lower. I was trying to see which one of these breakouts is the real one. It's going to be another high close on gold. This candle closing, 22 still holds. I'll try that with a stop at like VWAP. What's the spread looking like? Like a 3-tick spread. Trying to get filled there is a bit of an issue with a 3-tick spread like that. Yeah, I took it back off. I just don't really want to chase. I don't want to chase into 3 ticks. I wanted to get filled low 22s. I have speculations about putting in like a bid, like a limit order, and then it just not getting filled like within that same candle. I just take it off. I never like to hold those. Hey, they're both moving up here. Okay. NQ can go take 800s right here. Took out the supply zone. Next supply zone's like low 8s, 804, 805. It's off VWAP now, so it looks good. Should have just held the full position, huh? Should have just held the full position. Gold might get a break as well. They're both looking like they want to break. I think you should tap an 800s at least before we reject. Look at that. 9.7. Gold's not really pulling back too much off of NQ's rally, so that still looks good. Gold's still in a nice bull flag. Just got to try to get an entry on it that's not too high. Gold still looks good to me. I'll try to catch a fill at 225. I'll stop it under VWAP. I'll use VWAP as support for this move for a possible break above 25. Like a little breakout trade. It's a nice strong bull flag. NQ rallying could mess it up a bit, but I like to set up for a break above 2.5. That's a nice clean candle back up to the high of the range. Can we get a move through 2.5 on this open? Can we get a move through 2.5 back at the highs on a fresh 1 minute open? Candle opened at 238 right at the highs. If you're going to see a breakout, you'd want to see it right here on this candle. Nice. Yeah, I'm watching price action here for the exit plan. I'm just scaling out of it as we break through the 2.5s. That was just like a quick little bull flag scalp on the 1 minute, which I don't really trade those. But gold off of VWAP is another animal, so gold's strong. Gold off of VWAP's another animal. Not the best setup. I mean, that could have very easily filled out this range a little bit. I don't know if NQ sold off during this pop. Yeah, well, no, not really. NQ's actually higher than it was before we got the breakout, but still. That was a clean little 5-point play on gold. It's not bad. All right. I think that's probably it for me, y'all. Tomorrow, we'll do another evening session tomorrow. I'll do another evening session tomorrow, and that will be, let's see. Yeah, another evening session tomorrow, and that'll be time for a payout. Tomorrow night, we'll if we get another $200 session tomorrow night, we'll take a payout on Thursday night. And that'll be the fourth payout. Which is pretty cool. And then we'll just need like one more week, and then that'll be the fifth payout. Then no questions asked. We're getting moved to a live account. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. What did we think about the outside stream? Pretty good, right? All right, y'all. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.